Some time ago, the Alaska legislature required that 1% of the cost of constructing public buildings be set aside for art in public places. As a result, walls and plazas that used to be empty and used to be bare are now holding the end result of the creative process. When this new addition was put on the Juneau Airport, money was thus set aside for art in this public place. For 4 months, Rain Country cameras followed this creative process from the first stirrings to the final congratulatory cup of champagne.
I'm not attempting to make it look like anything necessarily other than the piece itself. The basic idea is coming from the wing shapes of early historical aircraft, and the materials are just attempting to tie that to the concept of it, and also the metallic paints, golds and silvers and coppers that I'm using are all kind of a high-tech types of feelings and materials. Basically, I came up with I wanted to relate it to flying and to construction of early aircraft because I was visually attracted to some of the early aircraft designs from some of the books that I got when I started thinking about this project. And also some of the sculpture and painting work that I'd been doing in the last couple of years was kind of a direct carryover just from a graphic point of view into some of the early aircraft designs. After I received the prospectus from the State Arts Council for the 1% project, I went out to the airport and looked at the space and looked at the new addition to the building and got a feel for the colors and the design of the building. And I was thinking about aircraft or something that would be related to the space. It started with a big framework to hang my aluminum panels on, and I cut all the pieces to size, clamped it up, and hauled it out to my welder, and welded it all together, brought it back to the studio, and cleaned it up, filed it, got it prepared to mount the large panels on. Then I did a lamination process, which was fairly interesting. I got a recipe from a painting conservator in Colorado. It's a wax resin mixture that I mixed up and applied hot to both the backside of the canvas and to the aluminum. And then I took a torch and melted the wax on the aluminum panel down to smooth it out and level all the ridges from the brush marks, and laid my canvas onto it and ironed the whole piece into place. The next step that I went through was to paint the canvas out, my rough kind of undercoating drawing that the aluminum work would follow. And after I had an undercoat painted, I started laying all the aluminum out onto the panels in the design that it would eventually be at, and bent all the bars, clamped everything together with about 40 or 50 clamps, and when it was where I wanted it to be, I hauled it back out to the welder and tacked it into place, brought it back to the studio, figured out how to fasten it to the aluminum, and then about 6 of us lifted it up and put it on the easel and rolled it into the place for me to start doing some of the finish coat of the painting. The 1% for Public Art program is a state program, and I think also in the city now, that takes 1% of building construction cost and design cost and gives that towards decoration or filling art, putting art in these different public buildings. So on this project, they had a couple projects going into the airport, one by Bill Ray and one by me. I'm not even sure whether to classify it as a painting or a sculpture or a relief painting, or I'm really not sure. I haven't really seen anything like it, and I would be surprised if anyone else has exactly. It's definitely from an abstracted point of view. I've been working for the last, I guess, about 4 years on wall-hung sculptures, trying to mix up the definitions of both painting and sculpture. I'm interested in having things that are flat on the wall, but also are projecting from the wall. And I'm real interested in the idea of shadow, illusionary line that's caused by something other than an act that I necessarily can dictate.
Doing just fine.
Okay, level it out.
A lot of people have been involved in this project locally. A lot of the materials are purchased locally, and I've had a number of friends involved in helping me lift things and move things around in the studio. I've borrowed people's trucks, and I've had a lot of the aluminum bending done for me out at T&S Welding, and another friend has been doing all the actual welding for it. I've had a number of people in the studio giving me comments and pot shots and various critiques all along, which has been fairly helpful to me just to get somewhat of an idea of what the public is going to think about this. And my friend Marcia Wilcox has donated numerous hours in sanding and filing and commenting. It's really exciting, I think, to an artist to know that their work is going to be visible to a lot of people, and in a sense preserved. It hopefully will be in the airport for quite a while, and it'll be seen by thousands of people. So that's something fairly exciting to me.